Yerp.
Yo, 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 yo.
Yerp.
What's up, everyone? My name's Justin Odisho. Here, back again with another podcast. This is episode number 19, I believe. I just recorded 18 yesterday. And I'm here with Louie.
Louie knows.
I feel like Nardwar. I don't know why I had that little bit in my head. Like, I wanted to do a Nardwar because we're holding the microphones Nardwar style. You know, he always goes like, I'm here with such and such, such and such. And then he freezes, yes. And then I wouldn't know what to do with Nardwar. But, where was I going with this? So, yes, I'm here with Louie Knows. Is that like the AKA that you...
Louie knows. That's what it is. Yeah, that's what I go by. It just worked out. I mean, Louie's my real name. And if you find out my real last name, and it's not hard, you can just Google that. But yeah.
Okay, cool.
Louie knows though.
And that's like your me. YouTube, Instagram, and everything.
YouTube, Instagram. That's what I go by. That is my identity. That is my name. That is what I brand my photos, videos, and everything that I do as brand under Louie Knows.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna have all the links in the descriptions as usual.
Go follow the boy.
So this is actually the first time we met in person, but we've been in touch for, I don't know.
I feel like maybe we know each other.
Yeah,
this is our first time meeting, but we've been, in communication, social media, Instagram, whatever, for what? Almost a year?
I'd say like a year. Yeah.
I learned how to do my music videos through his tutorials. I learned through one other person in real life, showed me the basics. This guy did everything else. Yeah,
so I wanted to get into that because like sometimes you'll FaceTime me real quick with like a yo, where's this one menu again or whatever, and like we've been chatting before, and your story, I just like asking questions to people, and so like sometimes I start hearing you talk about things you did or like how you even got into this, because you've only been shooting music videos for like
under my name for a year and a half, but I've
a year and a half
learned. I was working on sets for, since I was about 19. I'm old now, so that's like 8 years ago.
Yeah, and okay, so people can do the math there, and I mean a year and a half, and you're shooting some videos for some pretty like poppin' artists, I'd say, right?
Yeah.
Like and you were doing photography before,
but
like who are some of the artists that you recently are working with?
More recently, Cap G, Shy Glizzy. PNB Rock more recently, although, we've been in communication for a while too. And I'm most noted for, my work with Rich the Kid, Famous Dex, Jay Critch, Rich Forever in general. That's kind of where a lot of people first started paying attention, and then everybody else started steamrolling from there.
Yeah, and Rich has that song right now, Plug Walk. I gotta say, like, yeah, I gotta say, I've like heard Rich's music since he did a collaboration one time with Party Next Door a long time ago. I forgot what the song was called. And he always had like really good features and stuff. And I always see his name, but like I never really like got it. And then I heard Plug Walk. I'm like, this is a banger.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So it took Plug Walk for a lot of people to kind of catch on the same wave. I was the same way. I'm for all the music video stuff. How I met a lot of people. Because I was blogging for a music video company called Black Diamonds, no longer existent. Crazy to know that run is officially done. But that's where I originally met a lot of people, and I would see his name as a blogger all the time. You know what I mean? See his name, and then I met him a couple years ago, and then from there I just was behind a lot of his photos, Instagram, building up his name as he progressed into the Rich the Kid that he is today, and now we're just like good friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool. Like you guys are coming up together, but
more or less,
there's so much like we're touching on, because that goes into my point that I was saying. Like, you've only been shooting music videos for like a year and a half, and you're kind of like working with people who have been shooting for years might like want to work with one day.
Right.
And so I was saying every time we FaceTime sometimes, and I'll like kind of ask you some stuff, and I catch myself, I'm like, oh wait, this is actually like really interesting. I want to save it because I want to do a podcast one day.
Word, thanks. Yeah.
So why don't you get into like, so I mean that's how me and you came across. Like you were probably just looking up editing tutorials, and then I think like we were just DMing and we're like, yeah, whatever. You need help? Hit me up.
Want me to tell the story?
Sure.
All right. So yeah, I was looking for tutorials.
It can't be that exciting. You might as well
it's
just
a pretty
type
exciting
like
story.
how to do this.
Yeah, I mean anybody. Yeah, you go to YouTube. You want to learn anything? So like the reason why it was actually pretty quick and easy for me to like learn how to edit, learn how to use Premiere, After Effects, is because 10 years ago when the internet wasn't like what it was, when YouTube wasn't around, you had to go on Google and find like these real ad spam filled websites that had these tutorials. And at the time I was using Photoshop, learning how to make like web graphic signatures for forums and like little nerd stuff that I was into back then.
And they were like written tutorials, like blog
written tutorials. Yeah, you actually had to like teach yourself. It wasn't like a video, someone breaking it down. Although like the discourse in the tutorials are most commonly pretty good. I mean, I was able to learn from them. But like now you got YouTube, and like whatever effect you want to learn how to do, you just Google that, or YouTube that I should say. And then I did come across
it. Is the same company.
Huh? Oh yeah, they are owned. Yeah,
I guess it technically works.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Wow, good job, Google. You're killing it. And I was just watching a lot of different YouTube tutorials, and obviously some of them are concise and to the point. Others are a little scattered and this and that. And I just appreciated the way you laid out your tutorials, and it was really easy for me to learn. And then I became a frequent visitor of your page, and then I was like, damn, let me just like hit this guy up on social media, like shit, man. And then that's
the power of Instagram.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people don't realize, like I read and reply to all my messages.
You do,
and I don't
think
that's
a good like a tribute to have.
Yeah, and I think some people might just write it off like as soon as somebody they think has like over 10,000 followers or something. Like, you know what I get a lot? I get people like, wow, I can't believe you respond. I'm like, yeah, this is like my job, kind of, Of course.
Right.
Like, are people not responding?
I mean,
I get it if you have like, okay, if you have over, like once you get to a certain level, your
you could
inbox
assume that
does fill
someone
up.
would have a high inbox, as I do, and a lot of other folks. I try to respond to a lot of DMs, at least a lot of the ones that I feel are genuine and like convey the right message. You know what I mean? So
sometimes ever since they added that heart feature, I just like, someone just like, yo,
exactly.
I like your stuff. I just hit him with the heart.
I do the same thing because it shows that you read
it,
and it's a positive response, and I do that too. So if I ever hearted your message, it's all love. Right.
And it was really cool for me to see like, oh, cool, like that little color thing or that text thing that I showed is like, this is like a real world application in like an actual music video that I probably would have watched even if I didn't know who you were. I would have like stumbled upon it.
Right.
Because people ask me all the time like, where's your work or whatever, and not in like a mean way, but I'm just like, that's kind of cool. Like I can say like my work is like how good people who learn from me's work.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
I wouldn't say like
but more. I mean, like your work can be seen across the board, whether it's my videos or like the countless videographers that use your tutorials.
It's like a community.
That's awesome. Yeah, it is a community because there is a couple other folks similar to what you do that I stay in communication with. Yeah. And it's cool to just see, and I know you have communication with some of those folks too.
Everyone,
and it's pretty cool to see everyone just kind of like chill with it,
Yeah. It's not like I taught you everything from scratch, because get into like how so you were a blogger. First of all, you're from LA.
Yeah.
You've been in this whole like
you want the story
scene. Yeah, I want you to. Here's what we kind of like touched on a lot of stuff now. So I want you to take it from how you even got into like editing software or picked up a camera, because yes, you've only been doing music videos for the past year and a half, and maybe you learned an effect or two from me, but you have known how to use a camera for a long time. And how did you even get in contact in this position? I think that's what a lot of people might find like helpful, because they might be at the starting
first time I talk about this is cool. All right, so when I was a young buck, I'm talking way back in the day, I was just always into fashion. You know what I'm saying? Wearing a little Gucci shirt right now,
like
Puma shoes that don't even come out until May. Designed by Alexander McQueen. You actually knew. This guy actually knows fashion. You shitting me?
I used to work in a shoe store, man.
Yeah.
Retail.
So, I was always into fashion. I was just like this. I was working at like a boutique in my city where I grew up, which is not too far from LA, Santa Clarita Valley. So it's like it's LA County. It's just like a suburb, like 30 minutes north of where we're at, Beverly Hills. 30 minutes north of Hollywood, downtown. Oh, just that general direction. It's the Valley. People call it the Valley. Actually, technically, it's the Valley of the Valley. Nevertheless, I'm from Santa Clarita. But I was always, as a kid, like just wanted to like do stuff. You know, I like was making beats when I was a little kid, and like just doing stuff like that. And I was always into like video games and just like forums and like internet shit.
Me too.
You know what I
dude.
mean? And like sneaker forums and just doing that bullshit. So I really started using Photoshop version 7. To make signatures. So like a signature, for those that don't know, you obviously got all excited. You already know what I'm talking about.
This is how I started.
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
I think so many people started like this.
Yeah,
Video
I
game
wanted to have
forums,
like video game forums or sneaker forums. Those are the two things I'd be on.
and they call them SIGs.
Yeah, SIGs, a signature.
Like
SIG.
SIGs.
Exactly. It's like a little image you would put in your forum.
Or tags.
Bio
Some people call them
thing.
tags.
Yeah. And it was just like a little something that does a picture that described what you're into. So I'll make like just whatever sneaker stuff from my favorite rappers, like, you know, Currency. I made some like random graphics like inspired by Currency lyrics back in the day, and just like stuff like that.
I still have a whole bunch on my. I actually have like all of mine on my hard drive.
I think mine are on my DeviantArt. You remember that website?
Yes, I had a DeviantArt.
So
Dude, this gets into so much stuff
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
packs.
yeah.
I used to put packs on DeviantArt for
Okay.
free.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And now
so
I'm
like
selling them.
we've been doing this for a minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but like
it's crazy.
I
This is like
guess-
10 years ago, probably.
yeah, no, this is a
Yeah.
decade ago. Even longer than that, maybe like 12 years ago, again, when the internet wasn't what it is today. But that's just how I started. And I was into fashion, and I met somebody, and he was just like, yo, like, you want to like start running my social media, my MySpace, you know, for this clothing brand. And I was like, hell yeah. And then the clothing brand kind of like died out, whatever. And he started shooting music videos, and then this company started called Black Diamonds, and like we shot.
Like, okay, so it's like BLK. Because
Yeah,
I think a lot of
BLK.
people might have seen the logo. And stuff.
Yeah, it was like the whoosh in the beginning of like a lot of music videos. I'd say like 2010, 2011, 2012, around that
I
time.
had you did that. We'll continue. You'll probably get to it.
Yeah, when the 7D, the Canon 7D, that was the camera to have. Like, you had that camera, you were the shit. Feel me? And we were just shooting hella music videos. Cat Daddy, by the Rejects, like Tyga and Chris Brown's first music videos together. Problem, Ty Dolla $ign before he even signed, like years before he signed YG.
These are all like Cali artists.
A
Right?
lot, predominantly Cali artists. We did some stuff with Juicy J, where I first met Juice, and then it was crazy. Like, I ended up working with him years later. But yeah, for the company, basically on set, I was just like a PA. Like, I would just grab food and like, I don't know, set up lights and just do all like the fucking whack ass shit that nobody wants to do.
What does a PA stand for?
PA is a production assistant. That's like the technical term when you're writing like a budget, or you're writing a call sheet. Nevertheless, that's what I was, a PA. Moving lights, doing this, but at the same time learning, and just like learning, seeing how people talk to artists, like seeing how the video is actually set up with lighting, and you know, getting certain shots that don't make sense in person, but you line it up and it makes sense when you're editing. And shoot, let me even go back. When I was like 15, 16.
Like, why did you even get into fashion? You said like,
that's just me though. I was just into fashion. I was always into rap. Like
do
I
you
was
have
always into
siblings that
Kanye
were
West.
doing it?
Oh yeah. My cousin, he lived with me, and the first like
Older
older cousin, he lived with us growing up. And when Tupac died, I remember he was like the coolest guy to me. You know what I'm saying? So like when Tupac died, he was all sad, crying, and I was like, what's going on? He's like, Tupac died. I didn't even know who Tupac was. I'm like 6 years old, 5, I don't know, young as shit. And then he was like, oh, you know who Tupac is? And he showed me Tupac. I was like, oh, this is like cool shit. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, West Side, like California Love, like all that type of shit. And like, then I just started liking hip hop. And my dad, he was like into like punk rock. He was like an OG punker from like the 80s in LA type shit, but like also a gangbanger dude. So he was like from the streets. So he was always preaching like, oh, like if you gangbang, you're gonna end up dead or jail. Like that's exactly what he always tell me. So I always like had like a different perspective on the streets, whereas like some people glorify it, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these people have like manufactured like images. Like I always came from a different perspective, and I'm like from a good neighborhood, like, you know what I'm saying? Like like I'm from the suburbs of LA, where like little stupid petty shit, like people get robbed for the weed plants and stuff like that. Like, you know, my boys were selling Xanax before he's even trendy, like a decade ago in high school type shit. But like also frames for like how to deal with like people who really come from the streets and like deal with artists and things like that. I'm getting a little off topic right now, but
no, it's all right. Like, so you so you got into all that stuff.
Yeah. I got into all that through like
you
a guy that I was working with for like a clothing company.
You were blogging, right?
Videos. I was blogging, running social media.
And so this guy hit you up who was like a fashion type of
dude. No. I was working at a store, and he sold his brand at the store. So I met him through the store in real life.
And he wanted someone to do his social media.
Then he wanted someone to do a social media. Like as time progressed, and then as time progressed further, I'm talking this is like a years thing. he's like, I'm about to start shooting music videos. You want to come help out on a music video? First music video I ever went to was Problem featuring Corrupt.
So he was like a
I'm
hustler
Burnt.
type of dude.
Yeah,
like
just hustling.
had
You
a
know what I'm saying?
like
Just
this,
he wanted
clothing
to, like,
brand and then shoot videos.
creative guy. He would design all
yeah.
the clothes, like, you know, more or less like what I'm into now. So yeah, I got into it just by like being interested in fashion. And again, the company was called BLKDMNDS, Black Diamonds. And yeah, we shot hella music videos. So
Was it like two of you? It was like a partnership?
Yeah, no, it was like a couple folks, like my boy Victor, my boy Chuck. Like it was like a group of homies, you feel me? Their name is John and Ace, and like the one was a photographer, the other dude is just like a creative, like visionary overall. Where again, like I learned a lot from them, like how to talk to artists and again how to shoot. So
we can get into some advice you have.
Yeah, no, of course. And
how
then,
I guess let's just do it now when we got to it. How to talk to artists? Like,
I mean,
what do you mean? How do you talk to artists?
You gotta understand, like I always tell people this shit, like rap specifically, like rap is the #1 genre of music in America, definitely. But rap, a lot of people that are in rap, whether they're the artists or they're behind the scenes, come from like street culture, and you gotta understand street culture a little bit, or your ass is gonna get finessed a lot of bit. You feel me? So if you're going, I predominantly do stuff in the rap community, rap scene. I shoot a lot of rap videos, although I've done EDM stuff and pop stuff.
You have to know the culture.
Yeah, you got to understand that, like, offer something. If you want to be around, you want to look cool, you're trying to like do something with these artists, you got to offer something to these artists, whether it's having a camera and making photos or videos, or whether you got a car and you could just drive these people around and show them that you're like solid, you could keep up with the life. You got to offer something. And
for free, right? At first,
I mean, yeah, at first.
I mean, not like you have to work for free. But
is it?
If you're trying to get,
is it for free? You got to have value.
Yeah.
So
they're
if you
giving
have
you
value,
something.
then obviously you should be getting paid. But if you don't have nothing to show for it, for myself, like 2 years ago when I was the photographer shooting Instagram hoes, like I had nothing to show for it other than that. So a rapper could bring me around and he could like be like, take my photos, but he's not gonna pay me because he knows those girls didn't pay me to take those photos. Yeah. But then when you do that for free for this, like all these other rappers for a year, and then you start shooting videos, and then those videos are real good, well then you know what? Then it has value because you already made that known by making people want your craft.
Yeah.
And you haven't even put a price tag to it. So when they ask you, how can I get a 50 shot by that? Then you slap that price tag on it. Because not everyone can do what you do.
Someone else is going to come to you that you haven't worked with before, and then you can charge them.
Yeah.
And
I mean, more or less. Yeah, you want to break it down into like simple, like a simple,
But yeah, you build all these, the relationships are worth more than money, like basically. Especially if you're just trying to get your foot in the door. It's like, what are you willing to do? Because the next guy is willing to do it, for free. If you're sitting... I guess it's like you don't want to be short-sighted. Of course, don't like undervalue your work and like.
Right. But understand that, like, even in the creative world or even in the corporate world, irreplaceability is a huge factor, or replaceability. And in the corporate scheme of things, like some people might be working corporate jobs right now. You are replaceable in that job. So what makes you irreplaceable with your camera?
You're
with
irreplaceable.
Editing? You understand? and that's just how it goes.
Like
right
the
or wrong,
song.
though?
Yeah, like right now, I agree. Like right now, nobody can replace me in a way because I'm doing 100% unique. Like, okay, not 100% unique. Before I started doing this, the last.
But you have your thing, right? There's been a million tutorial people before you, been a million tutorial people after you. Just like me, you've been a million directors before me, been a million directors going to be after me.
There's only one you with your style.
You only
and,
do it.
This podcast and my voice and like.
You heard me?
Yeah.
And what you say and the way your brain puts shit together. So remember that for all the creatives and whatever listening to this right now, like only you are the only person that sees the world through your eyes. So if you got that vision, then make it happen. Yeah. And like. You could just watch some people's stuff. Like, they could be good at editing and, like, understand how to shoot stuff, but their vision just, like, it's a little off. And that goes down to, like, the text you use. At least for me, like, I like certain typefaces, and I feel like those are clean, and it just so happens to be, like, more popular ones. And like, that's just how it goes.
Another thing, too, is, like, it doesn't matter if it's already been done before. no idea is original. You know, they say no idea is original.
I understand that.
But it's not about like what you do. It's about how you do it. Like the thing is, a lot of videos that I make, it's already been done before, but I do it in my way.
Right.
And that makes it different. So like, yes, people have showed the basics of Premiere Pro or how to export or whatever, but sometimes people don't want to hear me. Like if you right now, if you're looking for a video, you might see if I made the video on it first, even though it's already been made before. Like,
right.
Yeah, basically there is no original idea.
There's no original idea, and that also introduces like an idea of like branding and why I think my brand or my videos do so well, because I understand the fundamentals of branding, as do you. You think Justin Odisho, you think a good structured tutorial. Yeah. You think Louis knows. I don't know what people think, but you know, I'm sure
I think everyone has their own image, but if your name is kind of like a blank slate. I talk about this a lot. Like I wrote a blog post about this. If you just use your name, it just becomes whatever you put behind it. So like when you hear Justin Odisho, you think like clean, structured, organized tutorials. The guy can help me out, whatever. Right. But like someone else, they might think something else. Oh yeah. Similarly, but they might think, oh, Justin Odisho, I like his podcasts. I 100%. Like whatever. That's you know, they just associate the same way when I say Michael Jordan, something comes in your head. But the name Michael Jordan, like literally the letters, don't technically mean anything aside from like whatever their Latin name. I don't know.
Okay,
someone in the
deep, but yeah, I feel
we're getting deep.
100%.
Jordan, actually, that's probably like I don't know. Maybe it's biblical. I don't know.
Could be.
But what you're saying about you're like replaceable and irreplaceable. Actually, I just thought of like the perfect example of like my career path so far, I guess, or whatever. I used to work at Nordstrom retail store.
So did I.
And so did you, which I didn't know until like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
In the
Long
E-bar.
time ago.
Shout out to the E-bar. Actually, not shout out to the E-bar, but shout out to the people that worked in the E-bar.
So yeah, like I worked at Nordstrom. I was
it's like a coffee. It's
and
like
I was making coffee for like, you know, even back then though, when I was like,
that was a long time.
That was my last like official job. Like when I was clocking.
So you know when you had to apply and you get those emails that said there's a new position or whatever.
Yeah.
I still get those emails to this day, almost
God.
every week, that there's a new position of the same position I used to work at and when I worked there for 3 years, and I worked with dozens and dozens of different people. New guys would come in and out every week. It's like you're replaceable. You're replaceable in a way.
Well, at least at like an entry level job, like you better understand that if you're a barista. Like
I mean, I was always I was irreplaceable because like I knew all the
bestseller ever.
No, but I knew the POS system so good, and I was the longest. I was there longer than all the managers and everything.
That's
so
crazy.
Like, I could train a new employee. I could train like 2 people. They would trail me, and I could show them exactly.
So you're always good at teaching people.
Yeah, I guess I always I always secured my spot.
I can see that.
Yeah, I quit. I didn't get fired. So like
I quit my job too. Shout out to Nordstrom. It was cool. I worked there for like a little over a year.
But yeah, so like that's a super generic. Like if they want to though, they can just get someone else to do it. There's nothing that I was doing that they couldn't get someone else to do.
And just like even for today, there's a million directors, you know what I'm saying? There's a million tutorial makers and stuff. So it's like I understand that. Like if I don't keep working, like obviously someone else is gonna like do what I'm doing. And just
but no, I would disagree that in that. I mean, yes, someone can always get someone else to shoot their video or shoot their photo, but then I would disagree because we used to work at Nordstrom, and then I did a whole bunch of like freelance stuff to like make money, and the last thing I ever did, like officially, was I managed the social media for like this local energy drink brand that was trying to start up. And what happened was we just didn't come to an agreement on like the monthly salary.
Right. I had a similar situation to that too, like with a clothing company, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And then so like what I thought in my head when I left there was they will never find anyone who will, like he like hit the lottery finding me willing to do that, because I at this point had made my life like, okay, how do I use Instagram to grow a business? How do I use Facebook? How do I use YouTube? Nobody, basically, like I highly doubt he would ever find anyone who would like do that as well.
All you gotta do is look at his Instagram and see how it's going since he left.
No, well, funny thing, after I left, I was like, just no contact. I think he quit the company too. It was like 3 partners because I
dub.
I still had
That's
the
what
password.
You call it, dub.
I was like, do you want the passwords back?
He's like,
nothing.
Nah. Like, no.
No response. I was like, okay, whatever. And then I went on and I was like, you know what? From here on out, I'm going full time. I'm gonna make like my own website, my thing. And instead of blowing their energy drink brand social media pages up, I just did it for myself.
Wow,
so
there you
irreplaceable
go.
there.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, no one does.
Is that what you did? You said you had the clothing company that kind of fizzled out, and then you just went
but at the same time, like I couldn't just support myself off like my music videos. You know what I mean? So or like photos, either way. So I had to like have some kind of income. You know what I mean? So I was like offering, because I always knew people. You know what I mean?
When did you like go all in on like solo creative like entrepreneur type of? I'm not working at Nordstrom. I'm not working side jobs. I'm making all my money myself doing like whatever.
Like,
I mean, maybe it's a gradual.
I'm trying to think, like January of what year are we in? 2018.
Crazy, right?
So yeah, January of 2017 or at the end of 2016.
So
right around there.
It sounds like that coincides.
And I left Black Diamonds in the summer of 2015. So like summer 2015, leave Black Diamonds. I'm blogging for like 5 years, work for this music video company. That's all I really know.
That was a YouTube channel and everything. So you had experience.
YouTube channel, fucking over 500,000 subscribers at that point. You know, Facebook.
Are they still up?
Page. No, they sold. I heard that they sold the whole thing. And I was always just like a social. Like the first time I ever went out like to party, I was like 15 years old, and these are like Hollywood nightclubs. I remember Dennis Rodman was out at the first time I ever went out to a club. It was called Lay Do. So it's like I was always just like some weird like fashion social kid from like the Valley of the Valley who would drive like out to Hollywood at night type shit and just try to figure out shit to get into.
Yeah.
And then like, you know, did some like wild shit, sold drugs for a couple years at some point in my life just because I had no job, didn't want to work a real job, and I knew that like I wanted to be out doing something. So what better way to do that? But yeah, back in 2015, left Black Diamonds, and then I had a camera. It was a pretty shitty camera. And then I was just observing, and like a couple homies, like my boy Raul, like held it down for me. Like I would get hit up for like music videos. The budget was enough for me to like pay him to use his camera and his Ronin, and I would just like shoot the videos. And like, there's still some of the ones that you know that are out right now, but like, I would do more and more videos, and then you know just like jugged and finessed a couple bands to like buy my own Sony A7R2 and like my own Ronin and my
that's
own
always like
speaker.
a hard your first like camera or like. You know, your first like couple grand camera is always like a big purchase. I feel like.
Yeah. It was dope as shit. I saw like I was going through my Snapchats, and when I got the camera, it was right around Christmas time. It has the dates, and I saved it. So again, I got the camera like December 2016, and then started putting it to use like shortly after that. I think the first video I shot with my own Sony A7R2 and shit was a Stephen Cannon video, who's like at that point was in the very beginning point of his career too. Shout out Stephen Cannon and like where he's at now. So it's really cool just to see that progression. Side note. And that's just kind of how it lined up. So I just started doing videos. Like there was no real budget there. Like he just kicked me down a couple bucks for like, you know, gas. And like we just, like, you know, we're homies and shit. And that's just kind of how it went. And then, you know, from there, like, you get money off the videos you can, and you shoot the ones that make sense to shoot for free. You know what I mean? And that's just kind of what I did. And then as times progress, you can put, again, value to your videos as you develop a style and brand. And then after a while, people see that directed by LOUIEKNOWS, and they want that. You know what I mean? So
you always, I bet you get a lot of emails. Actually, I know you get a lot of DMs like, yo, bro, how much for a video? Yeah. What's the best way for someone to get in touch with you about that?
Just go to the email in my bio. Like I have a lot of those, and then at like some point I'll just have my assistant. I'll go like one day I'll just pass her the phone and be like, can you go through all the DMs saying please email management, and I'll just have her copy and paste it over. And then those people that email my management email, they email my management email, her, my assistant, or my manager, and so it goes through them. And it's like an email that is sent out, has all the information how to work with me, very easy to read, very spilled out with nice little examples. And then from there, you know, that you have to
decide.
As long as the song makes sense and it looks like this person has a cool thing going on, we could work. And you know, there's a a little deposit that's goes along with that.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
How do you do that? Do you do like some before, some after, all up front?
I mean, there's like typical ways to go about it, but me, I like to try to get 75% of the overall budget up front, just because that shows that you're serious. Where I'm at now, like I'm trying to shoot real movies, with props and things that take a couple days to set up. You want to have a budget, business days. I'm not talking Saturday, Sunday. I want to have money middle of the week. Go to my prop houses, go to my rental houses, do this, do that, do all the things I need to do. Hire my DP, my AC. You know what I mean? Locations, permits, insurance, and make movies. You know what I'm saying? And that's what this year's all about. And growing my platform, making it bigger than me, like Louis as an individual, but Louis knows as like a platform, man, for new music and fashion and hot news to be discovered. You know what I mean?
It sounds like you're expanding, because you said like my assistant, my manager, so you're like building a little bit of a team.
Everybody got a team, whether you see it or not. You know what I mean? Everybody. I
feel like I'm thinking right now. My team is like my mom.
Hey, there you go. Shout out to Mrs. Odisho. That's how it goes.
Is it like an official, like it's like the team, it's like the squad that's been with you? Or like is it an official, like you went out and like assembled a team?
No, I had somebody DM me, hey, I'll be your assistant, and just like the discourse in the DM made sense for my life, and we made it work. And then my manager Enzo, I've known him since the 5th grade, and he put like money behind me at first too, like, and he gets a percentage of my company. I've known him since the 5th grade. He actually went to school for business, saw on the East Coast from out here, went to school on the East Coast, saw what I was doing, and was like, yo, like I like what you're doing. I just graduated school for fucking business, and I'm moving back to LA. Let's get it, get it, and that's like what happened.
Would you say like right now your bread and butter is music videos, and where's it trying to go? Right now,
yeah, sure, my bread and butter is music videos, but passive income, something that we all like to do. And I have I dibble dabble in the cannabis industry. Not exactly what you think. I'm not selling packs, but as like cannabis goes a little more legal.
It's all like there's branding and creative stuff.
Right. So as cannabis goes more legal, there's cannabis companies, and I work with a couple. Primarily one, Garrison Lane, shout out Garrison Lane, but a couple of other hit me up to do photo shoots and things like that. So get people on retainer. So I got like passive income, but yeah, I mean, obviously I'm super busy shooting music videos and stuff like that. So man, my bread and butter is certainly music videos and photos and just things like that. Yeah.
Are you saying you're trying to grow like the YouTube channel?
Yeah, bigger YouTube channel, get more subs on there, although it's been doing decent, like better than what it has been lately. And, increase like my, followers across the board, my like page, and just a place that people can like follow, and they'll just be fed new dope content every day through, curated by me. I
feel like that stuff is kind of like been big, and it's still blowing up too. Like you had experience with the Black Diamond
thing. Now that more or less have obtained what I had with the Black Diamond situation and
as your own,
as my own.
Yeah. And now like there's so many different music channels that are acting like platforms. Like
right. There's a lot of them, and shout out to all of them out there. I fuck with them, like a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? And then there's those that like can use their name and use their craft and turn that into a platform of their own. And there's like people doing that, and like. That's what I'm gonna do.
Have you ever thought about doing other kind of content? Like
I mean, I almost did a commercial one time. That would have been hard for like an app company in the Bay, and like I was about to do that. The whole budget was lined up and it kind of fell through. So anyone want a cool ass commercial, hit me up, because I will make you a cool ass commercial. But short film eventually.
When you said
I want to do more music videos. Like I need to do more music videos. Y'all need to see what my fucking mind's capable of on that scale, like realm. And then when I'm ready, we can do videos and movies and all that cool ass shit, TV shows. Because I got good ass ideas, but I'm not gonna. Man, I want to do music videos right now and do what I like doing for fun. And that's what I want to do right now.
It's working.
And I like working, and I like playing video games, smoking weed, going out, doing this, doing that. You heard? So like,
we should like. No, we can't run a game live. I was gonna say like if we were live streaming.
Next time I might even start live streaming, because
we were.
Y'all can't see me on the video games, but like whatever, it's cool. We'll just leave that there right now.
But I feel like we didn't touch on yet. So like, you've been doing music videos for a year and a half, and like we said, it's always evolving. And before this, it evolved from more like photography. It's
Yes,
like
yes,
you've taken
yeah.
a picture of like almost everybody.
A lot of them are like, yeah, rappers, you know, like Kanye West, Wiz Khalifa, Juicy J.
Was that
Travis
just stuff you were
Scott.
snapping because you were in the like?
No, my Kanye West, he posted me, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, Kanye, let me get this photo. I was at a music video with Juicy J.
Yeah.
And just Kanye was there for like an hour doing his thing. And at
So
some
you're like
point,
in the right places.
I think at the right place. You know, you kind of position yourself to get these photos. At least I did. And then, you know, from the positioning of being in the place to take the photo, you got to kind of just understand how to maneuver in those situations and put yourself, again, in the position to press that button where Kanye West will stop for you for like 3 or 4 seconds and take a photo.
That's
you know what I'm
rare.
saying? Yeah, it was rare. It was rare. But he gave me that cool-ass Kanye pose that, you know.
Kanye is
It was dope.
Yeah,
It was dope.
Kanye's
Fucking
the legend.
Kanye, I fucking been, you know, I listen to Kanye
In real life,
grade,
dude,
taking
I
the
don't know
bus.
what I'd do.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, like, do you ever get that anymore? I guess now you don't. Is there anyone that you were just, like, starstruck?
I mean, I don't really be getting starstruck because, like, again, like, man, like, my parents were really cool. So, like, they took me, like, concerts when I was young. And, like, I, like, met, like, musicians back then. Just 'cause, again, my parents were, like, just not your conventional parents. So, like, cool, great parents, but, like, just not conventional. So
Why do
it's
you
like,
say not conventional?
It was just, like, I mean, like, I was going to concerts, like, as the age of, like, 7 years old, 6 years old, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, I remember one time, like, my dad, he was just, like, always, like, a finesser, just always trying to have a good time. And we were at a concert one time. It was, like, one of those, like, I don't know what it was, like a K-Rock weenie roast, like a multiple bands, like, rock bands type stuff. And, like, long story short, like, we ended up backstage, like, my dad just finessing through backstage, and we just chilling. And then, like, Courtney Love, Kurt Cobain's fucking wife, you know, or ex-wife or whatever that is considered, was, like, talking to my mom, like, just, like, on some homie shit. Like, oh, yeah, bring your son. Like, she was definitely lit off something. Again, I was, like, youngster, maybe, like, 10, 11, 12 years old. Like, bring your son. Like, we're about to hop in the limo, blah, blah, blah. This is no cap, too. Like, and, like, my mom was like, no, I can't do that. Like, laughing, having a good time when we just, like, dipped out. But, like, situations like that, at a young age, like,
it's normal.
Whatever you do. So, like, you playing soccer at a young age, you're going to be really good at fucking soccer. You keep doing that shit for 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Or you fucking, you know, whatever. You play football, you're going to be good at fucking football. You give yourself, you focus on some shit. And I guess more or less I was just always focused on, like people and, like, the entertainment industry and music industry. I always loved music and just, like, had, like, an interest. Like, how the fuck am I going to fit into this shit? You know what I'm saying? And then, like, it just happened. Like, I just had the camera. People wanted music videos. I left Black Diamonds. Everyone knew me for Black Diamonds music video company. Everyone's hitting me up. Can you shoot music videos? I'm like, yeah, I can shoot music videos. Might as well start doing these bitches. You know what I mean?
It's kind of like coming from the East Coast. I don't know if I call it. It's not an advantage, but a difference. Yeah. The difference that you got, like, growing up here from start to finish, like, I can kind of see it because I come all the way from the East Coast to here. It's kind of like a little bit of a mind shift, like a mind switch, because it's not what I'm used to. It's like a totally different coast. Not better or worse. I'm just saying, like, it's different than what I'm used to. But for you, you're used to it. But if you went, like, I guess at this point it's not. You're like, we're all adults, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but when I go to fucking, when I'm on tour with PNB Rock and we're in fucking Wichita, Kansas, or just some Greensboro, North Carolina, shout out to those places, but it's a lot different.
And
it's really
the
cold.
lifestyle
There's
is
like fields everywhere. All I see is truck stops, and I'm just cold. And that's just like how I think of the places. It's just like, yeah.
You don't know the winter, man.
Oh, man, I do know winter. I was just, you shitting me? I do know winter.
Winter here or winter?
No, I've been in New York winter, fucking East Coast winter, Atlanta cold-ass winter. Like, damn, I've been everywhere. And they're all cold.
Yeah.
It's cold right now, low-key.
No, bro, this is not
it's kind of cold right
Anybody
now.
that's listening to this,
open, I'm like,
it is not cold. It's like 60 degrees.
Oh, it's cold.
60 is cold here. So anyone that's following along on Instagram probably has seen, I feel like you were just somewhere else. I didn't even know if you're going to be here. You've been on tour. Like, what have you been doing on tour? Talk about that.
I was on tour with PNB Rock. Shout out PNB Rock and everybody that's repping PNB or New Lane. Everybody. Shout out everybody. Yeah, PNB Rock. So, like, I don't know. We just started following each other on Instagram one day and then did a music video together. And he obviously liked it. And we did another music video together that's not out yet. And by the time you guys see this, hopefully it's out. The Scrub video, which is starring Fatboy, PNB Rock Scrub, starring Fatboy, directed by LOUIEKNOWS, coming soon. And then, you know, he going on this tour, and he just wanted somebody with a certain vision, and that vision was mine. And again, going back to that like replaceability thing, like he had other videographers with him, and it just didn't line up. So,
so like, what were you gonna do on Twitch? Like,
I was filming like
visuals?
recap videos. I still have to finish one too. Like recaps of the shows, and more or less commercials. Some of them were like funny stuff. That you guys will see. It's like a lot of funny content too.
With Fat Boy probably. Right?
And then just like stuff like that, and just showing what tour life is like. That's why he had me on there.
Yeah.
And then again, we're
But
like, you know, we're friends too. Like, you know, like we chill, we smoke, you know, we just play 2K and shit like that. So like,
yeah. Is that something you've done before? Like go on tour, like fully go on
no,
tour?
I
like
did like
stops?
a little like halfway fake tour, like little California tour with Rich like a couple years ago, back when we were just driving around in his Maserati, like going like places like San Diego and Santa Barbara and like to the Bay and like random places like that.
But this is like all across the country, like.
Yeah, this was
Milwaukee.
a domestic tour. Like we were like 24 cities in 31 days or something.
Tour bus
like that. Tour bus way, and then flew out, met them, and then tour bus for the rest on there.
Yeah.
And then after that, I went to South by Southwest, do some stuff with my homegirl, Yes Jules. Shout out Yes Jules, she's super dope. And then from there, I went to Miami to go shoot XXX at his like benefit show.
Oh yeah, dude, I saw a lot of those pictures. I feel like, have you ever had a photo turn into a meme? I feel like the XXX
I'm
ones.
sure
were like,
I have. I mean, people like tag me and use my photos for various stuff. So more or less, yeah. My photos have become memes.
Yeah.
Also SoundCloud covers and just all sorts of stuff, which is really cool to see. Sometimes my logo's in it, sometimes it's not. It's just cool. Yeah.
Do you consider this when you're like doing your videos? Like, you seen the Walk It Talk It video?
Okay, like I talk it. Yeah, super dope.
Saw it, how it's like 70s.
Yeah.
And
super dope.
And Drake, and I feel like they made it purposely so that you could pull some meme gifs of Drake from it.
I mean, 100%.
I feel like, does that ever like hit your planning? Like, let's make this, especially with Fat Boy you were just with. Do you ever think like, let's do some stuff like where we know this is gonna be a meme?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't specifically say meme, but where people can like remember or like think it's significantly funny or just of course. I think memes capture things of significance. So yeah, I try to make a lot of significant moments in everything I do.
Yeah,
that's definitely 100%. Whether you want to, call it. Do you think in meme or do you just make dope ass moments? So yeah,
it's like strategy. Yeah, when you say moments, like. I agree. Like when I think of the word moment, I just think of like some of those crazy Kendrick videos that have been coming out.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Where
y'all know a cool story about Kendrick?
Yeah, I do.
So when I was just a young buck, talking real young. So the company I was working with, by now we shot a Kendrick Lamar video. This is when we were still testing out directors again. So he had a vision. The guy who was running the company had a vision. He was testing out directors. This guy was shooting the video. For a song, you can look it up, Pussy and Patron. Unfortunately, the video never came out.
It's from the Overly Dedicated.
There you go. I don't even know the project that was off of, but yeah, like.
And there was a part 2.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Okay, yeah, there was though. I do know that. But so yeah, we go to his hood. Across the street, like, is the TDE office at the time, which is just like another crib in the in the hood.
That like, song featured Ab-Soul, right?
Yes, Ab-Soul. And everyone from TD was just there, just chilling on the block type shit. Fucking Ab-Soul, J-Rock was there the majority of the time. Schoolboy pulled up for Ab-Soul's performance, I remember. And then obviously Kendrick was there the whole time. And it was just, back then, like, this is again before he had like 2,000 Twitter followers, no cap. And I remember
Kendrick has been dropping music since like 2010, I think.
For a long time.
No, before that, but like I remember.
This is around that time.
Yeah, he was just like a relatively like underground, like
he was
in like 2010. Yeah, like up and coming.
Because J-Rock had a lot of momentum with his song back then. He did a song with Lil Wayne. I love that song. I forget what it's called, but J-Rock, which is TDE as well, he was again there at the video shoot. They had a little momentum, but no one really knew who Kendrick was at this time. Obviously, I feel like
it was a blogger type of thing. Still, I feel.
Yeah. I came across him just through that work.
Yeah.
They're working with him on that video specifically. So like that the van that's on his album cover, like I've been in that van.
That's crazy.
We like hopped in that van and like tell you something about K-Dot, like we're all in the van, right? There's not enough seats to go to the next location. He just like is like, oh yeah, everyone can sit in the car. Like I'll just ride on top of the fucking car. Like he pretty much rode on, you know, sitting on the fucking window, but just riding out there, like head cruising out the window, like, you know, in the middle of his hood, just show the type of guy he is. Like just let everyone else get the seats. He's the artist, you know what I'm saying? But like, this is my mom's van. Like it's all good. We going around the block type shit. Like I do this all the time, and like, you know what I'm saying? And it was just cool being around him. And even back then when he was only had 2,000 followers, I remember going on my Facebook writing some shit like, you guys got to check out Kendrick Lamar. He's super dope, because I was like a teenager back then. That's like what I was into, like just telling people about new music on my Facebook and things like that. Yeah. And then that video never came out because of that. Whatever happened, like the TDE relationship kind of went south, so I never really saw him too much after that. But then as he took off a little more, I ran into him. Like he was on a feature that we ended up shooting, and I took a cool little picture of him on my iPhone. And then obviously didn't see him for a very long time after that. And then when Rich did the new Freezer video,
that was featuring Kendrick, right?
Yeah, which was a 2-day video at like 6 in the morning on day 2. That I finally have like a good opportunity to take a photo of Rich and Kendrick and like say a few words to Kendrick that aren't like weirdos, you know, like weirdo status, you know what I mean? So I'm taking photos of Rich and then taking some solo photos of Kendrick. And while I have that moment or two, I was like, yo, I was at your Pussy and Patron video like back in the day. You remember that? And he just looked at me, he's like, my dog, yeah. And like pounded me. Yeah. And that was it. But it was just cool for him. Like, you know, that's Kendrick. Like, of course, regardless of what he does any further, which, you know, he's going to do more dope shit. Like, he's
I think
one of the goats.
Yeah, they stay grounded, you know, like, I think once you hit a certain level, it kind of becomes abstract.
I feel like he's just always been like that. Like, I've only interacted with the guy like 1, 2, like 3, you know, I count on this hand, not many. And I could just tell he's a very authentic guy. So that's just like a really cool experience in like my career, and just like how it started. Like when I was hanging around with Kendrick when he had 2,000. Okay, I keep referring back to it because he literally had 2,000 Twitter followers when I started following him. To like who I was at the time, just a little kid who was just like promoting music like just for fun and like figuring out what's this, and just I remember like I was on set, not even working. I didn't even know what a DP was, which is director of photography for those that don't know, who's the guy who like lights up the video and like sometimes will control the camera and things like that. I didn't even know what DP was at the time, and like my majority of my time for some reason I'm just like, again, like a teenager, like just like a kid, like I had some weed on me. I was like, yo, J-Rock, you want to smoke? And I was just like concerned, like just trying to smoke with the artists and just get cool with them type shit. And then, you know, from there progressed into what I do now. Yeah. Which I still smoke with everybody because everyone likes weed and I love weed, so I just smoke it.
It's like a networking.
Yeah, a little bit.
But that, you know, that's like, you probably think of this too because you probably have the chance now to where you can reach out and pick and choose kind of to see potential in an artist, and
yeah, definitely
kind of do their first couple of videos. Because what's crazy is in 5 years, like 5 years is such a long time that like someone can go from 2,000 Twitter followers to literally the #1 artist in the hip hop industry. Or like, do you ever think about that? Like you take you like find a kid that you see potential in, and or you ever like.
I've been doing that even when I was a blogger. Yeah, I always try to discover new music and like try to like work with them. Like the first person I rarely ever did that. Like, and I could say like,
I mean, is there any like cool success stories?
I guess, like, do you want to hear the coolest success story? I always go back to Stevie Cannon. Like, that's my boy. You know what I mean? Like, we've had our little fair share of like, oh, this for that, like with management and things like that. But like overall, that's my goddamn brother. Like. He was brand new. He had 200 plays on SoundCloud. I'm talking 200 plays on SoundCloud. I'm a blogger that, at the time, Black Diamonds was the shit. No cap. Black Diamonds was the shit. So people would send hella emails, and it was my job to go through hella emails. So I was going through the 50 emails of the day, trying to find some new music to post. And I find this guy, Stephen Cannon. He had some cool cover artwork, looked professional, looked dope, you know what I mean? And I clicked on it. I only had a couple hundred plays, but I was just like, fuck it, let's play this shit. And it was dope. I was like, oh, man, Stephen Cannon's dope. So from there, I started posting his stuff on Black Diamonds all the time. And, like, at that time frame, I was, like, I think, like, the first website person talking about his music other than, you know, within his circle of friends and things like that. And I think he still attributes that. I think, yeah, definitely. You could ask Steve. He'll be like, yeah, that's a true story. Yeah. And now, Stephen Cannon, one of the faces of Xanarchy, Low Gang. Xanarchy, if you're not familiar, is
Did you
little
say Low Gang?
Low Gang. That's something that Stephen Cannon has as well.
Did you say Low Gang like
Low Gang.
Logan Paul?
No.
What did you
is
say?
Is that something that he has?
Did you say LO Gang?
LOW. Low.
Okay, I'm in the YouTube.
No.
My head is so in YouTube because Logan
Okay.
Paul calls his subscribers.
Does he? Hold on.
So
Let
I'm
me make
like-
sure I'm not messing this up right now. Let me
No,
go to
Logan
Steven's
Paul calls his
page.
subscribers LOG, like Low Gang. So I'm like, wait, does he have a piece of this or something?
Oh, hell to the
Somehow
no.
behind the scenes.
Yeah, no. Xanarchy.
No,
Low
that would
Gang,
be
I'm
like
not
a
tripping.
that would be a great business play.
Possibly.
Like, I don't know how he got there.
Yeah.
My head's too much into like the YouTube scene.
No, I'd be like that.
Low Gang, like LOW.
Yeah, exactly.
Freaking
Exactly.
Logan Paul is
More
brainwashed
notably,
me.
like Xanarchy, Lil Xan, Stephen Cannon, and now like
Yeah,
Stephen's
Lil
doing his
Xan
own
blew
tours
up,
and just
too.
his shit's popping. Like Stephen is like a dope, hot, new, up and coming rapper who is like next to blow. I feel could
Yeah.
be, but I'm gonna say he is next. Yeah.
And like I'm actually seeing a lot of people blow up off of YouTube, and it's getting like surreal to see now because you see them as like a completely normal like aspiring kid,
Right.
and then like literally famous within like
Dumb famous.
a month. So
Yeah.
like you're familiar with, and the same thing happened with like the Little Skies. Do you follow that channel Cuff Boys?
No.
It's like the ginger kid with like really long hair.
How
He
should I be up
okay,
on that?
you probably have seen it. He reacts to music with his mom. It's with Mom Reacts.
Okay.
It's called Mom Reacts.
Yeah, maybe.
He had his homie who like did like singing rap type of stuff, and then Little Skies. Do you know Little Skies?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And then like I was just familiar with them from the vlog, and I literally you see these things happen in front of your eyes. Like you're watching vlogs of just regular kids, and then like next month I'm rolling down at the gas station and they were literally on the radio.
Word.
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
It's crazy. Yeah.
So
yeah.
when you're like younger, I feel like you just think this stuff is like so industry politics and it's all like, you know, it can't happen. But then I'm seeing it over and over happen to like just the regular, like it can happen to you.
Oh yeah,
too.
anyone could blow, but you gotta
Yeah.
have something of substance, and at the
Oh,
same
yeah,
time,
obviously.
like they have like
Oh, no,
even
they're
at that
great,
point when
yeah.
you have that image of like still young aspiring rapper, like you're still like networking, like you know what I mean. Like Xan like was still definitely like out there before he blew up, trying to work with producers, trying to work with other artists, trying to work with other videographers, like trying to get his name out there, and then he made the move to blow. You know what I'm saying? It's not just like it's
don't
rare
get
that
lucky.
like. I don't even know if this has ever happened. Like, I doubt it. Where a rapper will make a song, upload on SoundCloud, do nothing, never talk about it, and it blows up. That doesn't happen. You got to do something. You don't just upload a picture, a song, and do nothing. It don't work out like that. You know what I mean? You got to put yourself in the position to blow. And sometimes it might seem like, yeah, damn, they blew overnight. But no, a lot of these people, they're still grinding. You know what I mean? Like people might even look at my shit like, damn, you blew up over that. I'm like, dog, but like, I shoot so many goddamn videos. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
like we said, started back from forum signatures.
Yeah.
Been using Photoshop for 10 years.
Yeah, I've always just been in
Same.
that mode. Going back to that like history shit, and I was like, I used to play this game Counter-Strike religiously a long time ago. If you know what
Montages,
Counter-Strike
dude.
is? I used to play that shit. And I was like, you know, like killing hella people, and I would want to make videos about that.
People,
And-
dude, those videos used to get millions of views.
Yeah, like on Sony Vegas, I used to do that. And I used to have it uploaded to a website called File Shack, which is no longer around, which is very sad. And yeah, so that was a little history about me. I love Counter-Strike. Sometimes I still play it. Don't have much time for video games anymore. But I'll still headshot you. So if you want to see me on Counter-Strike or PUBG or Fortnite now,
Yeah.
I'll mark you. Hit me. Anyways.
All right. So I mean, I guess that takes us into like a nice spot to just talk about like future plans, future projects.
Yeah.
What should anyone that's listening
Yeah.
like be expecting? I know we were talking about like you kind of want to play around with live streaming right now. And maybe
Yeah.
that's your mood right now. But like, where are you going?
All right, so where I'm going is doper. First and foremost, make my craft better. Okay, I know where it's at. I'm very realistic with how my videos look. I like them. Obviously, people like them. But I want them to be better. So
You're
my
always
top
studying on
priority
YouTube.
is make my damn videos better, and that just comes with introducing certain things. That just comes with a little more pre-planning on my end, just various things that I need to work on as an individual to make my videos better, first and foremost. But you know, seeing like how Ninja linked up with Drake and Travis, and everyone went crazy about that, like AKA hip hop and video games kind of merging together, kind of having a center point, a ground point to link up, is really dope. And because I love fucking video games and because I love hip hop, what better way to like combine the two and do something more or less what we just saw through that. So that's something that is in my head, but I want to do that. But definitely gonna start vlogging more, just because I just be having so many cool little funny clips, whether I'm in front of the camera or behind the camera, or be behind the camera and then just talk about it. It's like
that Kendrick moment in the van.
Yeah, I mean,
that would have been a classic vlog. Classic.
Shitting me. That
back then it would have been like maybe 100 people watched it, but now today
that would have been
oh, this is so rare.
Yeah, absolutely. You know? 100% would have been crazy. 100%. And that's just how we bumming. So
yeah, so all these different things you want to experiment with YouTube.
Oh yeah, I would definitely. I mean, and then beyond making my music videos better, I want to continue to grow my platform. I want Louis Knows to be bigger than just me, Louis. And I want it to be recognized for a place to discover dope new rappers, current new rappers that are dope, and dope music videos, all curated, you know, by me. Photos that are curated by me. News that is approved by me. Fashion news that's, approved by me. Tasteful gossip that's approved by me. Things like that.
Full circle.
I don't want to be doing too many interviews. Maybe if people want to hear me talk to rappers, but I would definitely maybe down the line put people in the position to do interviews for me. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm thinking. I want to have a team of people working for this Louis Knows
entire media company
at some point. Yeah, absolutely. Just, curated like me, like kind of like what Mark Echo did with Complex and things like that.
Have you read that book?
No, I have not. I should read more.
I should have brought it with me. I'm done with it. It's called Unlabeled or something. It's Mark Echo's story about how he started Complex.
Ooh, I should probably read that.
And it's full of like pictures and stuff. And the crazy, so like the most like best thing I took away from it was that Mark Echo, he had Echo, the clothing brand, right? Nowadays you think like, dude, Echo is washed up, dude. Remember Echo? Used to wear Echo when we were like little kids.
Of course.
He's probably still have an Echo jacket somewhere. And you think in your head like, Mark Echo's done, bro. But you don't know that Mark Echo started Complex as like a side project.
And is dumb rich now off that.
And now
he doesn't even need Echo, but he still does like his random little stores and probably makes money off that.
He sold the company.
Oh, for real, completely?
I believe they sold the company completely.
Well, either way, he's just doing his thing.
But yeah, like he started, this is what you're talking about, experimenting like with vlogs, live streams, whatever. Yeah. Right now you got your bread and butter. Everyone has their bread and butter. And even me, like I have my bread and butter. Like, yes, right now the podcast is kind of smaller and it's still growing, but I'm doing 80% what works, 20% new things, because like Mark Echo,
it's all about consistency.
Yeah, he had the clothing brand, and then on the side he shouldn't have been doing it. But he started a magazine, a literal magazine that turned into a website. That's now one of the most popular YouTube channels. Yeah, one of the most popular websites on the internet. Yeah, and the clothing brand is dead. So in 5-10 years,
you do what you want.
Who knows what the heck is gonna like
happen?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows anything?
I'm supposed to know.
I think Louis knows. I think that's a beautiful place to wrap this one up. Who knows? Louis knows. That's me. So thank you guys so much for listening. If you enjoyed this one, definitely check out all of Louis' stuff. I'll leave all links in the description. Yeah. Give him a follow on Instagram for sure. You're always active on stories. It's and subscribe to the YouTube. I think a lot of people might not know that you have that up there. I for the longest time didn't even realize I wasn't subscribed.
YouTube.com/Louis Knows. LOUIEKNOWS. You heard me? And then that's the same thing all over all social media except Facebook. It's one Louis Knows because the guy who has my name won't give it to me.
And we will see you, or I will see you. Well, we'll see you somewhere in the next
Hopefully. One. That's cool.
Yeah, it's fun. I like that. There's so much stuff we can talk about. It's like we only have 1 hour and it just goes where it goes.